Welcome to Faith Distilled. We present the distilled essence of the sermon, Good News for the Aged by Charles H. Spurgeon.
You know, as we come to the end of another year, we have some solemn matters to discuss. This is our subject today, and may God make our time together both profound and, well, profitable. These words, and about the 11th hour he went out, and found others standing idle, well, they're taken from the parable of the householder, you know the one, who went out at all these different hours to hire laborers into his vineyard.
So here's what we're going to do. In this parable, first, we'll uncover the sheer sovereignty of divine grace. Then, we're going to see the boundless mercy of God. And finally, we'll apply these truths directly, with a solemn word for both the old and the young among us.
Now, this message was first delivered right at the close of a year. So, the 11th hour. Well, it's that moment we all feel, isn't it? When time feels short and we're just compelled to take stock of our lives.
The parable itself is pretty simple. A householder hires men early in the morning, and then he does it again at the 3rd, the 6th, and the 9th hours. But, and this is the key, mark this, at the 11th hour, with the day almost completely done, he goes out one last time. And what does he do? He finds more men standing idle, and he hires them too.
First then, in our text, we come face to face with divine sovereignty. Now, what do we mean by that? We mean that God has the absolute right to do with every single one of us just whatever he pleases. He is the absolute monarch in this world.
And this parable, it shows God's sovereignty in three distinct ways. First, in his choice of persons. He calls whom he will. Second, in his choice of time. Some are called early, some at the 3rd hour, and, you guessed it, some at the very last. And third, in his choice of reward. He gave every man a penny, which shows he distributes rewards according to his own good pleasure, not our merits.
The Apostle Paul, he wisely asked this very question, and my soul, it just falls down in abject submission at his feet. I have no rights when I come before the Almighty. This doctrine must be proclaimed however men may bite their lips to hear themselves humbled in the dust, and Jehovah God exalted as their master.
And now from this high and, let's be honest, sometimes difficult doctrine of sovereignty, we turn to the great mercy of God that just shines right through it. This is where truth becomes truly, truly beautiful.
I want you to consider the contrast here. The householder in the parable, he needed men for his vineyard. But our God, he doesn't need us, not one bit. The one who guides the stars and is worshipped by angels has absolutely no need for an insignificant atom like one of us to serve him. And therein is the mercy of God revealed, that he goes out to find us when he can absolutely do without us.
And his mercy, it's untiring. He seeks some in their youth, like young Samuel, but he doesn't grow weary. Oh no, he continues seeking, even to the 11th hour. You know, some of the sweetest tales I have ever heard have been told to me by gray-headed sinners, saved in their afterdays, just when they were trembling on the very borders of the grave.
And now, may God help us while we make a solemn application of this subject. First to the old. Old man, come you here, and let me give you a solemn address, to warn you of the wrath to come.
Gray-headed man, I beseech you, first of all remember how many years you have wasted. Look back upon your misspent life. What say you of your 60, 70, maybe even 80 years? Your harvest is past, your summer is ended, and you are not saved.
Consider this, my aged friend, your time is gone and it cannot be recovered. Consider how little time you have left to serve God, even if you are saved right now. Consider how many thousands of sermons have left you as dead as ever, and consider how long and how much you have provoked your God. Quake, O aged sinner, be afraid.
But then there are the young, and they're perhaps smiling and saying, all that is good advice for old age, but why should we think about such things yet? We haven't come to our 11th hour yet.
What? What did you just say, young man? Will you repeat that sentence? No, you dare not, because you do not know when your 11th hour may be. The angel of death may be, this very moment, flapping his black wings across this very place. You are all, if you are uncalled by grace, just standing idle in the marketplace. Consider, young man, has not Satan had more than enough service from you? Will not the time past of your life suffice you to have wrought the will of the Gentiles? And don't you know that religion is so sweet that we might well seek it
even for its sweetness, if it were not absolutely necessary for our soul's security?
I'm going to conclude now with just a few words of encouragement, illustrated by a final plea. Oh, poor old man, you are like one who once lost himself in a pine forest.
The snow fell thickly all around him. It was dark, damp, cold. The howling of the wolf could be heard in the distance, and he feared that during the darkness of the night he should be consumed.
His only hope was to light a fire. He tried to strike one match, but it was no good. He tried another, and another, and another. As the number of matches diminished, he struck each one more and more carefully, until at last he came to the final two. He struck the last but one. It flamed for a moment, and then a gust of wind just blew it out.
And now he came to his last match. The wolf was howling, the wild wind was whistling, his fingers were well-nigh benumbed.
You can just guess how that man cowered on the earth to strike his last match. On it depends his life. It is his all. He strikes it. Ah, glorious! The flame has caught. He is saved! Or else the fire dies out and the wolf devours him.
So there is the gray-headed old man, with his last match in the box. Oh God, if you do not strike that last match for him, he is lost forever. God grant that that last match may succeed with you, O old man.
Thank you for listening. Subscribe for more distilled wisdom.